In this video, we will discuss a cylindrical shell method problems. The revolution axis, I put that on the x-axis. X-axis is horizontal, so the integral that we have to set up is a dy integral. So we have two curves. The first one is x equals to 1 plus the quantity of y minus 2 squared, and then the other one is x equals to 2. So we have a parabola and a vertical line. So regarding how to graph x in terms of some y function, you can use a free app online. You can either download that to your phone, or you just Google this and then use that on your computer. The app is called Decimal, DESMOS, Decimals. It's a very powerful app. You can graph y in terms of x or x in terms of y. So Google that, take a look. So we have a parabola and a vertical line. So since the revolution axis is horizontal, we will be setting up a dy integral. I have to let you know that if this problem needs to be solved using the this or the washers method, then this will be a dx integral if you use the this or washers method. So what is the concept of the shell method? So the shell method, you will be setting an integral 2 pi r times height times either dy or dx. So the 2 pi r is the base of a rectangle. When you take the 2 pi r times height, you get a two-dimensional rectangle. When you consider the dx or dy, then you consider the thickness of a 3D object. So if you consider all three of them, then you have a 3D rectangle, three-dimensional rectangle. And then the integral from a to b determines the size, how big it is from where to where, from a to b. So that determines the size of the rectangle. All right, so let's go ahead and solve this. So first thing first, we have to figure out the radius. So what is the radius? So the radius, usually the textbook suggests you to sketch a rectangle. So let's do that in here as well. So rectangle, let's pick any points on the curve. So we are going to use the midpoint rule. So I take the point as a midpoint, and then there is a corresponding point on the other curve. So it's that point. So it's also the midpoint as well. So this is my rectangle. And then the radius is what? The radius is the distance between this rectangle and the revolution axis, which is this distance right there. So how do you find that? You will be using any y. So you will be using any y minus the x-axis, which is y equals to 0. So this is any y in the region, and then you minus the x-axis, which is y equals to 0, and this is the x-axis. And then you will have to figure out the height. So what is the height? The height is you are going to use the right curve minus the left curve. So which one is on the right, which one is on the left? That will be x, or not x, that will be 2. X equals to 2 minus the other one. So I will use a square bracket for that. 1 plus y minus 2 square. So this is x equals to 2 minus x equals to 1 plus y minus 2 square. All right, so that is the height right curve minus the left curve that determines the height. So you have a point at x equals to 2 and then a point on the parabola. What is the difference between those? What is the distance between those 2 points? Look at the rectangle. What is the distance between those 2 points? You will be using the bigger x, subtract the smaller x. The bigger x is the x equals to 2. The smaller x is the x on the parabola. So you use right minus left. Bigger x minus the smaller x to keep the height positive. For the radius, you will be using a bigger y minus a small y to keep the radius positive. And then you set up your integral, so volume, and then this is y goes from where to where. So y goes from where to where. This one we have to do one more piece of work to get that out. So let's do that in another color. Y goes from this blue point to that blue point. So we have to figure out those 2 blue points. So this is easy. All you have to do is you set them equal. So we have a 2 equals to 1 plus y minus 2 square. And then you open up the square. So that is 1 plus y square minus 4y plus 4, and then move the 2 to the other side, 0y squared minus 4y. 4 plus 1 is 5, 5 minus 2 is equals to 3. And then you factor that, y minus 1, and then y minus 3, you have y equals to 1 and 3. So this is y equals to 1, and that is y equals to 3. And then this is how we get y equals to 1 to y equals to 3. And then you do the 2 pi, right? So we have 2 pi r, the radius is y minus 0, and then times the height. The height is 2 minus, well, we have to use 2 square bracket, right? 2 minus 1 plus y minus 2 square. I do not recommend you to simplify that, because 2 days from now, when you go back to your notes, you know exactly what you did. And then the dy is the thickness, everything in the square bracket is the height, and then the 2 pi r is the radius. Now, you know I like to do a lot of what if. So let's do the what if right here. So what if I do this? So what if I give you another revolution axis down below? So this one, so what number should I pick? So let's say this is y equals to negative 9. That's the first one. And then let's do one on top. Which number should I pick? How about 24 here? So y equals to, well, it's too hard to see. I will just use this yellow. Y equals to 24. Or should I pick another color? Yeah, let's just keep it right there. And then I will go ahead and then copy this picture down there, so I can just work on that. So let's copy and then paste the picture right here. So we have 2 things to work on. Y equals to 24. The other one, let's use another color. Which one should I use? Let's use this. How about red one? Y equals to negative 9. Okay, 24 and negative 9. So let's do the 24. Let's do the negative 9 first. So we have this revolution at y equals to negative 9. How does that affect the radius and the height? So let's just do the radius first. So the radius is equals to the distance between the rectangle and y equals to negative 9. So that will be any y subtract negative 9. So this is any y in the region minus y equals to negative 9. So that is my radius. And then you also have your height. So that will be the right curve minus the left curve, which is the right curve is x equals to 2 minus x equals to 1 plus y minus 2 squared. Because you are subtracting the whole thing, then you will need a square bracket. So the volume is equals to, from y equals to 1 to y equals to 3, you have 2 pi radius y minus negative 9, and then 2 minus 1 plus y minus 2 square, and then this is dy. Okay, so let's do the 24. So this one, we have rotation y equals to 24. So the radius is now 24 subtract any y, right? So this is y equals to 24 minus any y in the region. Any y in the region. And then what about the height? That doesn't change the height, right? So the height is still the right curve minus the left curve, which is 1 minus the quantity of y minus 2 square. And then you put everything together, so you have volume equals to from 1 to 3, and then you have 2 pi r 24 minus any y, right? So 24 minus any y, and then you have the height. The height is another square bracket, and then you put this in, 2 minus 1 minus y minus 2 square, and then dy. Alright, so that is the end of this problem. If you think my instruction is helpful, Let me know in the comment below, like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, share the video for me. Appreciate your help and support. See you all in the next one. Signing off for now.